Hello and Assalamu alaikum. So today I thought about making a special video and it is the last day of the year and I wanted to make a video about which books I have read this whole year and my favorites among them. So let's start. Before starting the video, let me tell you guys that I wasn't actually a bookworm in the starting of this year, means the starting of 2023. But one day I got a book as prize of a poem reciting ceremony. I stood first on this competition and I received a book and certificate at prize. The name of the book was maybe Fantastic Beasts and Where You Can Find Them. So after reading that book, I felt like, yeah, I wanted to read some more books. So I told my mom about it and she bought me some books. And after reading that books, I gradually started becoming a bookworm. And my mom was like, wow, you are reading books. So yeah, I think you can start a YouTube channel about book review. And that's how I started my book reviewing journey on YouTube. So now let's talk about the books I have read this whole year. Uh, I just read 10 books this year, but inshallah I read more books in the upcoming year or 2024. So the first book I have read this year is Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. Let me tell you, this was also a prize about a prize of my poem recitation competition. And to be honest, I am not a Harry Potter fan. I don't like these magic or magical stories. So I just like real life based stories. So yeah, I didn't used to see any Harry Potter or read Harry Potter books. So this was my first Harry Potter book, and when I first started reading this book, I wasn't able to actually understand any of the thing. But after reading it, yeah, I was able to understand. So this book is maybe about the mini versions or the children's of Harry Potter. I don't actually remember the story, but yeah, I remember that this book has the children's of Harry Potter and his friends, and maybe they also go to learn in the school. Their fathers or mothers also learned magic. Yeah, something like that. And they also had to face Voldemort. Voldemort was the villain of Harry Potter. They also had to kill the Voldemort, and there are a lot of stories. I actually don't remember the story of this book a lot, so let's just skip it. The second book I read this year is Good Girl's Guide to Murder. This is actually a series of 3 books, and I also have the review of these books in my channel. This is the first book is basically the story of a girl named Pipa Fish Amobi proving one of her uh, um, one of a boy whose name was Sal Singh. He was accused of killing his girlfriend, and after some days of his girlfriend going missing, he just committed suicide, and it was never found who killed Salsin's girlfriend. But people thought that Salsin was the murderer. So, yeah, even though without any proof, Salsing was accused of murdering his girlfriend, and Pip wasn't able to believe it, and she started investigating about that topic. So this book is basically the story of how Pip discovered the murder of Celestine's girlfriend. The second book of this series is Good Girl Bad Blood. Sorry, Good Girl Bad Blood, and Pip. And in this story, we're told that Pip isn't dictating anymore after she investigated the topic of Salsings, means Andy Bell. because last time when she was investigating, her family was in really big danger. So that's why she wasn't a detective anymore. But she again became a detective after one of her friend's father goes missing. The name of the friend was Connor, and his brother Jamie Reynolds was missing, and Pip had to find him. So, yeah, this book is about how Pip finds Jamie Reynolds. Okay, the third book of this series is As Good as Dead. As Good as Dead is the story of Pip, so who is haunted by her last investigation because something happened in the second book which haunted her a lot. She was traumatized because of it. I can tell it because that will be a spoiler. So whatever. And she started taking drugs because of the trauma. But soon Pip starts noticing that she has a stalker. That stalker always asks her who will look for you when you are the one who disappears, and also leaves some chalk figure and dead pigeon on her way. And Pip was sure that she had a stalker. She tried telling it to the police officers, but the police never believed her. So she had to find her stalker herself. And this is the last book of this series. Okay, then after completing this series, I read the book Toto-chan. So Toto-chan is the story of a girl named Tetsuko Kuranagi. It is a biography of Tetsuko Kuranagi. Tetsuko Kuranagi is a Japanese TV anchor. And in this book, we are told that Toto-chan is expelled from her last school because she was really naughty. And due to that, her mother was worried and took her to another school named Tomoe Gaikun. Tomoe Gaikun was different than other schools, and the headmaster of that school was really cool. He treated the students in a very good way, and Tutsan liked that. And in this book, she told everything. She respected her headmaster, and there are some stories of her Toto-chan while she was in that school. But she wasn't there because after some days of her getting admitted in this school, uh, the World War II started. So she wasn't able to uh, stay in that school much longer. Okay, whatever. And then the next book is How to Kill Your Family. It is the story of a girl named Grace. Her mother was in a relationship with a man named Simon, and Simon was already married, but yet he was in a relationship with Grace's mother and made her pregnant. And after Grace's mother became pregnant and Simon got to know that, he left her. Grace's mother tried to persuade him a lot, but he wasn't listening. So at last, Grace's mother also left him. And after Grace was like a teenager, her mother also left her because Grace's mother was attacked with cancer. And when Grace becomes an adult, she kills her grandparents, her stepmother, her stepsister, almost the whole family of her father. And this book is about the story of this. How this book is a story of how Grace kills the uh, family members of her father. Then the next book is One of Us is Lying. So, One of Us is Lying is the story of five students who were given detention. The name of the students were Bronwyn, Eddie, Nate, Copper, and Simon. Simon dies in the detention room. And the police thinks that Simon's death wasn't an accident because it was found that he died because of allergic reaction. And that's why the police starts investigating. And this book is about who is the killer of Simon. The police thinks that the other four students, among the four students, one of them might be the killer of someone. But is it really true? Who knows? So, whatever. Then, the next book is also a series of three books. The name of the book is The Cruel Prince. The Cruel Prince, and this book is the story of a girl named Jude Dorr. She is a human girl, but she was taken by her stepfather. Step it is not stepfather, but let me just explain. So, Jude's mother was a human who fell in love, who was married with a fairy, and that man uh, came to take Jude's mother after she ran away from the fairy world to humans world. And besides his daughter, he also take Jude and Jude's twin sister with him. And that's how Jude ends up in the fairy world. And there a lot of fairies start bullying her, saying that she's just a human girl. So this is basically the story of how Jude survives in the fairyland. And the second book of this series is The Wicked King. The Wicked King is also the story of Jude and Cardan. So I can tell much about Cardan because if I want to, then it will be a spoiler. So let me just explain it in a short form. That Jude thinks that someone among her close ones is betraying Jude. And in this story, Jude tries to find who is that person who is betraying her. The third book of this series is The Queen of Nothing. So, in this book, Jude returns to the fairyland and she tries to solve an important riddle which will save her, which will save the fairyland. Okay, now the now the next book is The Girl on the Train. This is the book, The Girl on the Train, and I actually didn't finish the whole book. I'm actually reading this book, but yeah, let me tell you the story of this book as I can understand. So, this book is about Rachel, who always catches the same train on her way to work, and she always noticed a couple whom she called Jace and Jason, and she thought that their life is really perfect and she wanted to be happy like them. But she didn't knew that whatever she think about them was not really truth. And one day she was able to become a part of their life. And now she was not a girl on the train anymore. So basically, this is the story of the book. I will give a review of this book on my channel after I will finish this book. Now, the last book I read this year is The Silent Patient. It is the story of a girl named Alicia Berenson. Alicia Berenson, and she is accused of killing her husband Gabriel. and people tried a lot to make Alicia speak after killing Gabriel, but nobody was able to, and she was sent to a mental hospital. And one day, a psychotherapist named Theo comes to help her. He tries to make her speak about actually what happened that night. And at last, Alicia speaks with him about what happened. So, this book is a really good thriller, and after reading this book, you will surely get to know that who is the real killer. Is it Alicia who killed her husband or someone else? So, yeah, now let's talk about which books I liked and which books I disliked. Okay, now the books that I liked this year were The Silent Patient, The Girl on the Train, One of Us is Lying, Toto-chan, and The Series of A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. So let me tell you guys why I like this book. The Girl on the Train. Even though I didn't finish the whole book, but after reading the at least half of the book, I am able to understand that this book will turn out really great. So yeah, I highly recommend this book to you guys. And the next book is The Silent Patient. And let me tell you guys why I like this book. This book has a really good plot twist. I'm 100% sure you guys will love this book. And I highly recommend this book to you guys. You should read it. Okay. Mm, and the next book is One of Us is Lying. And to be honest, this book wasn't actually really fun to read, but yeah, you can read it. It wasn't actually not that bad. It is just like medium. So yeah, if you guys want, you can read. Then the next book is Toto-chan or The Little Girl by the Window. And this book was really fun to read because of the naughty things that Toto-chan did in her childhood. You will really laugh a lot after reading this book. So I highly recommend this book to you guys. The next books are the whole series of A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I actually like the first and second book of this series. I really didn't like the third book of this series. It was like a medium type book, but yeah, you might enjoy it. So I highly recommend this book whole series to you guys. Now, the books that I disliked. First is Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. As you guys know, I'm not a fan of Harry Potter, nor I'm not a fan of any magical stories. So it is obvious that I won't like this book, and I'm sorry to the Harry Potter fans out there. But yeah, if you are a Harry Potter fan, I can tell that you will love this book. So yeah, of course you can read it. Then the story is How to Kill Your Family. Uh, when I first saw this book, I thought that this book will turn out really great after seeing the title of this book, but it actually didn't meet my expectation. So I won't recommend this book to you guys, but if you guys like this type of genre, like funny or comedy, thriller, mystery type book, then yeah, you can try it. Then we have the series of The Cruel Prince, and after reading, when I first saw this book on the internet, and I thought that it was really a popular book, I just bought it without seeing the genre of this book. But after reading it, I didn't actually like it. Love stories are not for me. So yeah, I don't recommend this book to those who don't love any type of love stories. But it is up to you. If you guys want, you can read it, of course. So yeah, it might happen that I don't like the genres of the books which I told I dislike. But if you guys love this type of genres, then of course you can read this book. So that was my whole video. So that's all about this book, and if any of you have read one of this book, then make sure to leave your opinion in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. Bye.